Charles Barkley knows a thing or two about playing the game of basketball, but his opinions are not always, shall we say, conservative. The 1993 MVP has a history of criticizing the league's best players, and seemingly nobody's safe, as even players like LeBron have to bear the brunt of his ire. Today, we're going to talk about some players Barkley has had a lot to say about throughout his analyst career, so stay with us. First up, we look at his confrontation with the league's best, LeBron. On Inside the NBA back in 2017, LeBron became a target of one of Barkley's famed tongue lashings after James had publicly criticized the Cavs for their supposed inability to sign better players. Barkley famously said that LeBron, who had guided the Cavs to the championship the previous season, was being whiny and inappropriate. Pretty funny actually, as you can't really argue with the comments. James responded by calling Barkley a hater, but we really don't see how someone commenting on what's actually happening is being a hater. LeBron said, "I'm not gonna let him disrespect my legacy like that. I'm not the one who threw somebody through a window. I never spit on a kid. I never had unpaid debt in Las Vegas. I never said I'm not a role model. I never showed up to All-Star Weekend on Sunday because I was in Vegas all weekend partying. All I've done for my entire career is represent the NBA the right way. 14 years, I never got in trouble. Respected the game. Print that." Okay, well, when you put it like that, we can see your point, LeBron. Barkley had said that James should be thankful for the players he has around him. We wonder if the response came due to the fact that Barkley had left LeBron out of his top 5 NBA players of all times list. What do you think? Sixers star Joel Embiid joins us next. Stick around. During the COVID pandemic last season, Barkley raised eyebrows by going in hard on Embiid by calling him out for his inconsistent style of play. It wasn't just his facet of Embiid's game Barkley would focus on. He said that the Cameroonian was lazy and that Embiid doesn't like him because he has previously called him out for not being fit regularly enough. Barkley said that Embiid hates him because he called him lazy. Well, I mean, duh. He's not going to be sending you a Christmas card if you call the man lazy, right? He's a professional athlete. Barkley seemed to allude to the fact that the Sixers don't push him hard enough, saying he has to get in shape if he wants to play basketball. But if we think back to Barkley's playing days, the same criticisms were sometimes leveled at him. So you can say he's being a hypocrite or that he knows what he's talking about as he has the same position. What do you think? Barkley did say that Embiid was a great kid, and maybe this was just his way of motivating the player to unlock the talent we all know he has. The GOAT is up next, so we gotta stay tuned for this one. Back in 2012, Barkley's comments ended in a rift between himself and Chicago Bulls legend Michael Jordan, which has still not been healed to this day. Barkley was talking about Jordan's running of the Charlotte Hornets and Jordan himself. "I love Michael, but he has just not done a good job. Even though he's one of my great friends, I can't get on here and tell you he's done a great job. He has not done a great job, plain and simple." This caused a huge uproar between the pair, who had previously been good friends and still aren't speaking to this day. I mean, what would you expect when you bruise an ego as big as Jordan's? Barkley said earlier this year that he takes some of the blame for criticizing his friend, who he classed as one of his best friends at the time, but at the same time pointed out that he had to do his own job, whereas an analyst, criticism of people within the game comes with the territory. Barkley can be credited with not showing any bias, and that's why he's respected as an analyst. Whether they were friends or not, Jordan could have not expected a friend to praise him if he wasn't doing a good job. But we guess Michael Jordan's used to getting everything he wants, a sentiment echoed by former teammate Scottie Pippen earlier this week. Do you think Barkley had grounds to criticize Jordan's ownership of the Hornets? Let us know your thoughts down below. We're looking at Barkley's comments on Donovan Mitchell next. Is Donovan Mitchell a superstar? That was the debate earlier this year when Barkley and fellow NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal questioned whether or not the shooting guard had the ability to really take the Jazz all the way to the championship. Barkley and Shaq were debating with Kenny Smith, who had said that the 6'1" New York native could score at will and overpower his opponents. But Barkley threw cold water on his suggestion by claiming that it's not what a superstar was. He went on to claim that a superstar has a whole host of different ways to win a game. He defined a superstar as a player who can affect the game at both ends, and if they're not playing particularly well shooting wise, they can still pop up in the right place and get those rebounds. He also addressed claims that he was hating when he was just pointing out the basics of the game. It has become a trend now to say an analyst is a hater when they're basically saying what they see and doing their job. Barkley finished by saying he was a great point scorer, but he does not have any impact anywhere else on the court. What do you think of his comments on Mitchell? Are they fair? Let us know below. An LA Laker is up next, so you definitely want to stay with us to find out who. Back in February, the LA Lakers were taking on the Denver Nuggets when power forward Anthony Davis caught the attention of Barkley for not being Kobe or MJ. I mean, come on, Chuck. Some of his criticisms are maybe fair enough, but this one is a little harsh as the two players he compared Davis to are two of the best ever graced the court. Barkley was talking about the former Hornets player's apparent lack of killer instinct, saying he's great because he's talented, but he doesn't have that thing where he just wants to go out there like a Kobe, a Michael, guys like that who just want to kill you every night. He's a great player, but I don't think he has that dog in him where he just wants to dominate. His numbers are way down overall, but like I said, he's a great player. I'm not hating on him, but man, he's so frustrating at times because sometimes he goes through the same motions. Do you think this is a fair shout from Barkley? Let us know below. Ben Simmons is in the firing line next. Stick around. As we know all too well, the current relationship between Ben Simmons and his employers, the Philadelphia 76ers, has more than soured recently. Barkley and Shaq parked the blame directly at the door of Simmons for the rift and didn't shy away from saying so. Barkley claimed that the massive contract Simmons is on should be enough to motivate him, but instead of being happy with his $200 million, Simmons pouts and complains about being in Philly. The 6'11" Aussie was put on blast even harder by Shaq, who called him out for posting pictures of his cars and whatever actress he was hanging out with on Instagram. Shaq went on to explain that people in hardworking cities don't care about any of that and just want to see the extremely privileged NBA player put in performances week after week. Fair enough, guys. I mean, we couldn't agree anymore. Barkley and Shaq then poked the ire of Simmons even further by questioning his performance against the Hawks in the postseason. They commented that he didn't even look at the basket and that he looked terrified out on the court. Pretty brutal from the guys. What do you make of Simmons' current situation? Will the Sixers be getting rid of him? A man who is no stranger to controversy is next. It's Kyrie Irving. Irving, a famous flat earther, caught some fire from Barkley recently, and we can't say that Barkley is the one giving the anti-vaxxer grief. Barkley called him one of the most miserable people I've ever seen before telling fans he would have whooped his ass if he was a teammate during his stellar career. Pretty strong words from Barkley, and we'd love to see that, honestly. Any chance we can get these guys in a room together? In the current climate, we're sure Barkley isn't the only one who feels this way about the Nets player, but we're joking, of course. We don't like to see violence in a professional game. Comment, Mr. Barkley. Chill. As always, thanks for tuning in, guys, and remember to swing by again next time for some more fun reveals. Also, why not share this video with your basketball-loving amigos? That's all for today, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.